Man, Raptor insanity is just taking over the world. Raptor insanity is taking over Canada, taking over North America, and taking over the world. Like, even though the Raptors are called the Toronto Raptors, you could really call them Canada's Toronto Raptors, because people right across Canada are cheering for the Raptors. Raptors gear is harder and harder to come by across Canada. People from Vancouver to St. John's, Newfoundland, Toronto, to Edmonton, to Calgary, to Winnipeg, to Montreal are cheering for the Raptors. And even Raptors fans have even taken over Oakland, California, the home of the Golden State Warriors. Like watching last night's Game 4 between the Raptors and the Warriors at Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. There was about 2,000 Raptors fans there that even after the game was over, they still stayed around. They were still hooting and hollering, cheering, partying, generally having a good time, singing "O Canada," chanting for the Raptors, and good on them. Meanwhile, Golden State's Warriors fans were going home early from the game that I'm sure they paid excellent money to watch. Why were they leaving the game early? To go home and cry that their team's losing? Well, I must say the Golden State Warriors, yes, they've had a good dynasty there for a good part of the 2010s. You know, they've done very well. They've won 3 championships. They've been in, I think, about 5 playoff finals, NBA playoff finals. But I think on Monday, June 10th, will be the end of the Golden State Warriors dynasty and the beginning of the Toronto Raptors dynasty. And not just across Canada, but I remember seeing a survey that across the U.S. too, that 47 out of 50 U.S. states were rooting for the Raptors as opposed to the Warriors. Only California, Nevada, and Hawaii were rooting for the Warriors. And I would say even in California, I doubt that there's many Warriors fans in places like LA and Sacramento, since Sacramento has the Kings and LA has the Lakers and the Clippers. Like, I'd imagine that the Warriors are one of their natural rivals down there, so I doubt that many Californians outside of Oakland, San Francisco are rooting for the Warriors. Anyways, I think Monday night, I think we're going to see history made. I remember at first I was forecasting that the Raptors would beat the Warriors in 6 or 7 games. Now my forecast is for the Raptors to beat the Warriors in 5 games. In round 1, I was predicting that the Raptors were going to beat the Orlando Magic in 6 games. They beat them in 5. Round 2, I was predicting that the Raptors were going to beat the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 games. They beat them in 7. And round 3, I was even saying, like, I'll admit, I had my doubts about round 3. I had my doubts about the Raptors getting past. I had my doubts about the Raptors getting past the Milwaukee Bucks. But I remember saying to everyone that I know, family and friends, that if the Raptors do everything they need to do, they will beat the Bucks in 7. Well, actually, I was wrong, because they ended up beating the Bucks in 6. And now I think they're going to beat the Warriors in 5. Yep, I think Monday night will be the beginning of the Toronto Raptors dynasty, and I think the Toronto Raptors will be the NBA team of the 20s. I'm predicting that the Raptors are going to win at least 3 NBA championships between now and 2025. I was down at Dundas Square in downtown London, Ontario, Canada, watching the Raptors game last night. There were some very enthusiastic fans down there. And I'm going to be either listening to, or I might even go back down to Dundas Square on Monday, June 10th, to watch the Raptors in Game 5. Go Raptors, go. I don't want to count my chickens before the eggs have hatched, but I believe the Raptors are going to become the newest NBA champions on Monday, June 10th. Go Raptors, go. I'm rooting for you. Most of Canada is rooting for you. Most of the U.S. is rooting for you. And people from all over the world are rooting for you. I think we're going to see some good Raptors history made.